Let's get right into it. Number 10. Old silver dental fillings. Those old silver fillings in your mouth are actually about 50% mercury. The same stuff that made hat makers go mad in the 1800s is in your mouth right now. Every time you chew, these fillings release tiny puffs of mercury vapor. It's like having a microscopic toxic fog machine in your mouth. Mercury is a neurotoxin. It can mess with your brain in all sorts of ways. Scientists have found that dental workers who handle these fillings regularly show higher rates of tremors and memory problems. It's like their brains are running Windows Vista. Everything's just a little bit slower and glitchier than it should be. Now, dentists will tell you the amount released is too small to worry about, but if a dentist drops a mercury filling on the floor, they have to treat it as hazardous waste. Yet somehow it's totally fine to keep it in your mouth for 30 years. These fillings slowly release more mercury as they get older. So that filling from your childhood is basically a retirement home for toxic metals. But don't go yanking them out yourself. The process of removing them actually releases more mercury vapor than leaving them in. It's like trying to defuse a bomb. You need someone who knows what they're doing. Number 9. Canned tuna. You're sitting there, eating your tuna sandwich, thinking you're being all healthy, but that convenient can of tuna is basically a mercury piggy bank, more like the kind where you save up for a neurological disorder. Little fish absorb tiny amounts of mercury from the ocean, then bigger fish eat those little fish, then even bigger fish, like tuna, eat those fish. They sit at the top of this toxic food chain. Every time a tuna eats another fish, it's basically saying, I'll take your mercury and raise you some more mercury. Maybe don't eat it every day, unless you're trying to become a human thermometer. The FDA says it's okay to eat canned tuna a few times a week, but here's the catch. The more expensive white albacore tuna has 3 times more mercury than light tuna. If you've been splurging on the fancy stuff, you've been paying extra for extra poison. Number 8. Your perfect green lawn. You might be proud of your lawn looking like a golf course, but that perfect green carpet might be turning your brain into Swiss cheese. Those pesticides and herbicides you spray aren't just killing weeds. They sneak into your house and your body in ways you wouldn't expect. Every time your kid or dog plays in the grass, they're getting a chemical bath and bringing a toxic payload inside on their paws and shoes. These chemicals become airborne. While you're out there admiring your weed-free paradise, you're breathing in a cocktail of neurotoxins. Scientists have found links between common lawn chemicals and Parkinson's disease. One study found that people living in areas with heavy pesticide use had a 75% higher risk of developing Parkinson's. That's like playing Russian roulette with your neurons just to avoid having yellow flowers in your yard. These chemicals can stick around in your house for years, trapped in your carpet, your furniture, and your dust. Even in winter, when your lawn is covered in snow, you're still getting a daily dose. Number 7. Lip balm. Most lip balms contain petroleum-based ingredients, the same petroleum that goes in your car. But you're not just putting this stuff on your lips, you're eating it. Every time you lick your lips, every time you eat, you're swallowing tiny amounts of these petroleum compounds. And unlike your car, your body wasn't designed to run on petroleum products. These compounds can build up in your body over time. The average person applies lip balm 2 to 30 times per day. That's potentially 30 daily doses of chemicals you're giving yourself, all because you didn't want crusty lips. And here's the kicker. Many lip balms contain ingredients that actually dry your lips out more, so you keep applying more and more. It's a vicious cycle that you can't seem to break, while you're constantly ingesting stuff that really doesn't belong in your system. Number 6. The noise you've learned to ignore. Stop for a second and listen. The hum of your fridge, your AC, the distant traffic. There's a constant hum that you probably only notice when the power goes out. Your brain has gotten so good at tuning these sounds out that you didn't even notice them, but your body hasn't. Your body is secretly freaking out all the time. Your body evolved to react to sounds as potential threats. Back in caveman days, a strange noise could mean a predator was nearby. The problem is your body can't tell the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and your refrigerator's hum, so it keeps pumping out stress hormones, like you're having a tiny panic attack 24/7. These stress hormones are basically tiny wrecking balls bouncing around in your brain. Over time, they damage your brain cells, especially in the hippocampus, the part of your brain that handles memory. That harmless background noise might be why you keep forgetting where you put your keys. Even when you're sleeping, these sounds are still messing with your brain. Why? Because your ears don't have eyelids. Scientists found that people living in areas with constant background noise had smaller memory centers in their brains. So yes, your noisy apartment could be shrinking your brain. The good news? Even 10 minutes of complete silence can help your brain generate new cells. Your brain can literally grow back what your refrigerator killed. Number 5. Your cheap sunglasses. So you bought those sweet shades from the gas station for $5. They were cheaper than a burger meal, but those bargain bin beauties might be doing more harm than good. Your eyes work like a camera. When it's bright outside, your pupils get smaller to let in less light. When it's dark, they get bigger to let in more. The dark lenses on cheap sunglasses trick your pupils into thinking it's darker than it is. So your pupils dilate. They get bigger, like a cat's eyes at night. But those cheap lenses aren't blocking the harmful UV rays. They're just blocking visible light. It's like putting a screen door on a submarine. So now you've got these wide open pupils letting in more harmful UV radiation than if you weren't wearing sunglasses at all. It's like inviting vampires into your house and then opening all the windows. This UV radiation isn't just bad for your eyes. Scientists have found links between excessive UV exposure and cognitive issues. So those $5 shades might end up costing you a lot more than just money. You wouldn't put dollar store brakes on your car, so why do it to your eyes? Number 4, your daily commute. Your car is basically a tiny gas chamber on wheels. Every time you sit in traffic, you're marinating your brain in a toxic soup of exhaust fumes. Studies show that just 2 hours of exposure to heavy traffic pollution can immediately change how your brain functions. Those exhaust particles are so tiny, they can slip right past your blood-brain barrier, which is supposed to protect your brain from toxins. Once they're in, they trigger inflammation. It's like starting a tiny fire in your head that never quite goes out. On top of that, your stress hormones spike every time someone cuts you off. Those stress hormones are literally eating away at your memory centers. Scientists found that people with long commutes have more memory problems and faster brain aging. That guy who just cut you off is helping to shrink your hippocampus. That's the part of your brain that helps you remember where you put your keys. The longer your commute, the more damage you're doing. Number 3, using GPS for everything. You're driving somewhere new. First thing you do is fire up that GPS, but that trusty navigation buddy might be destroying your brain. Scientists at McGill University found that people who rely heavily on GPS have less gray matter in their hippocampus. This is your brain's built-in map and memory stick. Your hippocampus is like a muscle. When you exercise it by finding your own way around, it stays strong and healthy. But when you let GPS do all the work, it starts to shrink like a forgotten houseplant. London taxi drivers have to memorize over 25,000 streets to get their license. Brain scans show their hippocampuses are actually larger than average. Meanwhile, the rest of us are following the robot voice like zombies. Your hippocampus doesn't just handle navigation. It's also crucial for forming new memories and fighting off dementia. So every time you use GPS for a 5-minute drive, you're telling your brain to take the day off, and it starts shutting down the neurons you're not using anymore. Number 2, task switching. You probably have like 17 tabs open. You're texting 3 different people, and you're somehow convinced you're being productive, but you're not. Every time you switch between tasks, your brain is basically doing a faceplant and having to get back up again. When you jump from Instagram to your work email to that YouTube video, your brain isn't smoothly transitioning. It's more like trying to drive a car while constantly shifting from reverse to first to third gear. You're just grinding those mental gears into dust. Scientists found that it takes your brain about 23 minutes to fully refocus on a task after being distracted. So when you're proud of yourself for answering emails while writing a report, you're actually just training your brain to be terrible at everything. This constant task switching is literally changing your brain's hardware. You're training yourself to have the attention span of a goldfish on energy drinks. That's why you can't read a book anymore without checking your phone every 2 pages. Your brain is now hardwired to demand constant stimulation. It's like being in a toxic relationship with distraction. Number 1, going cashless. That little tap sound your card makes at checkout is rewiring your brain, and not in a good way. Our brains evolved to feel a sting of pain when we give up something valuable, like physical cash. It's your brain's built-in financial advisor telling you to think twice, but tap to pay puts your brain's financial advisor to sleep. Scientists call it payment decoupling. It's when your brain stops connecting the act of spending with the reality of losing something valuable. They put people in MRI machines and watched their brains while they spent money. When people handed over cash, the same brain areas lit up that process physical pain. But when they used cards, those areas stayed dark and quiet. Every time you tap that card, you're training your brain to ignore its own warning system. It's like disconnecting your smoke alarm because the beeping annoys you, and companies know this. That's why everything's moving to subscriptions and one-click purchases. They're not just making it convenient, they're making it brain-numbingly easy to spend without thinking. Kids growing up today might never experience that pain of paying, as their brains are being wired from day one to see money as just numbers on a screen. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.